one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream. My 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
Martin Luther King Jr. was an American pastor, activist, humanitarian, and leader in the African American civil rights movement. Martin Luther King Jr. was born on January 15, 1929, in Atlanta, Georgia. He was son of Reverend Martin Luther King Sr. and Alberta Williams King. King was the middle child of 3 kids. He had an older sister, Willie Christine King, and a younger brother, Alfred Daniel Williams King. The family was born and raised in rural Georgia. Growing up in Atlanta, King attended Booker T. Washington High School. King skipped 9th and 12th grade and entered Morehouse College at the age of 15 without formally graduating from high school. In 1948, he graduated from Morehouse with a Bachelor of Arts degree in sociology and enrolled in Crozer Theological Seminary in Chester, Pennsylvania, from which he graduated with a Bachelor of Divinity degree in 1951. King then began doctoral studies in systematic theology at Boston University and received his doctorate of philosophy on June 5, 1955. On June 18, 1953, King married Coretta Scott. King and Scott had 4 children: Yolanda King, Martin Luther King III, Dexter Scott King, and Bernice King. In 1954, shortly after his marriage to Coretta Scott, he became pastor of the Dexter Avenue Baptist Church in Montgomery, Alabama. Martin was a strong worker for civil rights for the African American community, and he was a member of the executive committee of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. Early in December of 1955, he was ready to accept the leadership of the first great African American nonviolent demonstration of contemporary times in the United States. During these days, King was arrested upwards of 20 times, his home was bombed, and he was subject to personal abuse and assaulted at least 4 times. But at the same time, he emerged as an African American leader of the first rank. In these years, he led a massive protest in Birmingham, Alabama, that caught the attention of the entire world. King was awarded 5 honorary degrees, was named Man of the Year by Time magazine in 1963, and became not only the symbolic leader of American blacks, but also a world figure. At the age of 35, Martin Luther King Jr. was the youngest man to have received the Nobel Peace Prize. He later announced that he would turn over the prize money of $54,123 to the furtherance of the civil rights movement. 5 years later, on the evening of April 4th, 1968, while standing on the balcony of his motel room in Memphis, Tennessee, he was fatally shot. He was pronounced dead at 7:05 p.m. that evening. Martin Luther King dedicated his life to the nonviolent struggle for racial equality in the United States. He led the civil rights movement in the United States and had a huge impact on racial equality. He played an important role in ending racism and the segregation of African Americans in the United States. King was a brave and honorable man who continues to be remembered as one of the most influential and inspirational African American leaders in American history.